I swear this is like the 6th time. Anyway, fixed all the typos. What line goes through the point 2, -5 and is parallel to the equation y equals 4/7 x plus 8? All right, so very first step, what's the slope or the m value in our equation? It's 4/7. So in our new equation, the slope will be 4/7. Now we can substitute our m, our x, and our y into the equation, and we get -5 equals 4/7 times 2 plus b. Right? So -5 equals 8/7 plus b. In order to get the b by itself, we need to subtract 8/7 from both sides. So we get -5 minus 8/7 equals 8/7 minus 8/7 plus b. Right? Giving me a -43/7 equals b. And I can substitute that and my slope from step 1 into the equation, and I get y equals 4/7 x minus 43/7. Right. Now, finding parallel lines given points. I'll show you the question now. What line goes to the point 1, 4 and is parallel to the line with points 0, 5 and 3, 8? Right, so you're going to see problems like this where the very first step is you have to find the original equation given 2 points. I'm not going back over that in this video. You can watch the other one if you forgot how. So the very first step is to find the equation, and then you have to find a new equation that's parallel to that and goes through the given points. All right, so make sure that you're using the correct points for the right parts of the problem, or everything's going to be all messed up. The answer to step 1 is 1x plus 5. You can go through and try that. And now step 2, what's the slope from that equation? M equals 1. So that's going to be our slope of our new equation. We can substitute that and our x and y into the equation, y equals mx plus b, and we get 4 equals 1 times 1 plus b. Right. 4 equals 1 plus b. How do we get b by itself? We're going to have to subtract 1 from both sides. 4 minus 1 equals 1 minus 1 plus b. And we get the value 3 equals b. That 3 for b and our m for 1 goes into the equation. We get y equals 1x plus 3. Same thing, finding parallel lines from points. What line goes through the point -3, 2 and is parallel to the line with points 4, 6, and 1, 0? I'm not going to go over step 1, how to do it. I'm going to just give it to you. The equation is going to be 2x minus 2. All right, step 2, what's that slope? Slope is 2. Now we can substitute in the given x, y, and the m we just got from step 1 into the equation, y equals mx plus b, and we get 2 equals 2 times -3 plus b. Right. 2 equals -6 plus b. How do we get b by itself? We need to add 6 to both sides. I've got 2 plus 6 equals -6 plus 6 plus b, giving me 8 equals b for a final equation of, here's my b value, here's my m value, y equals 2x plus 8. All right, moving on to perpendicular. Perpendicular lines cross at a 90-degree angle once, and their slopes are the negative reciprocal. Okay, what does negative reciprocal mean? Right, so reciprocal means that you're flipping a fraction upside down. The numerator becomes the denominator becomes the numerator, and the negative means you change the sign. If it's positive, it becomes negative. If it's negative, it becomes positive. So the negative reciprocal would mean that you flip the fraction and change the sign. Here's some examples, right? Trying to see if you can get the negative reciprocal of these 5. Pause the video. And here they come. So for 6, right? It isn't in fraction form yet, but we can say that's 6 over 1. So we flip it, it becomes 1 over 6, and we make it negative. So your answer is -1/6 is the negative reciprocal of 6. So the negative reciprocal of 3 over 2, it's already a fraction, so that's easy. The reciprocal would be 2/3. We change the sign, it becomes -2/3. Negative reciprocal of -4, right? That's -4 over 1. And then we change the sign, so our negative reciprocal becomes 1/4. That's important to note that negative reciprocal doesn't mean that the answer is always negative. It means that we change the sign from what it was originally. So check out this fourth one. If we have -1/5, the reciprocal would be 5 over -1, and then we would change that to a +1, and we just get a slope of 5. And our last one, 3, that's 3 over 1. So reciprocal will be 1/3. We change the sign, it becomes -1/3. Okay, so now finding the perpendicular line to an equation. It's the same steps 2 and 3 that we've been doing, substituting things in to find b. Only thing different is step 1, finding the negative reciprocal. All right, so what's going to be our negative reciprocal? Well, here's the question. What line goes through point 5,4 and is perpendicular to the equation y equals 5x plus 2? Pause the video, see if you can work it out. There's not a lot of examples of this because it's really just going through the same process we've been going through of substituting for b and finding your m value. So step 1, the negative reciprocal of 5 is negative 1/5. And I think if I go back a slide, yeah, look, negative 1/5 and 5. So it goes back and forth. The negative reciprocal of negative 1/5 is 5, and the negative reciprocal of 5 is negative 1/5. So there we go. Then step 2, we just put that negative 1/5 and our xy values, 5 and 4, into the equation y equals mx plus b, and we get 4 equals negative 1/5 times 5 plus b. Right? Negative 1/5 times 5 is just going to, it's negative 1, not negative 5. Pretend that says negative 1. You know what? We're just going to change it now. I cannot keep making. It's going to take a second. This should be negative 1. So this should be 1, 1, 1. Oh, 1. So my b value becomes 5, 5. We're going to go back to present mode, and you're going to pretend like you didn't see all of that. Everybody's human. Where are we? What line goes to the point 5,4 and is perpendicular to the equation y equals 5x plus 2? Negative reciprocal is negative 1/5. Substituted into the equation. And look, negative 1/5 times 5 is negative 1. Right? So what do we have to do to get b by itself? We have to add 1 to both sides. So 4 plus 1 and negative 1 plus 1. We get 5 equals b. We put that into the equation. We get y equals negative 1/5 plus b. That line is going to be perpendicular to the one in the original question. Last example, what line goes through the point 3, negative 4, and is perpendicular to the equation y equals 1/3 x plus 4? Go ahead and pause the video here. Hopefully there's no typos. All right, here we go. What's the negative reciprocal of 1/3? It's going to be negative 3. Right? So reciprocal means we flip it over, so it becomes 3/1, and then negative means we change the sign. It was positive, so we change it to negative. Now we substitute in the negative 3, the 3, and the negative 4 into the equation. We get negative 4 equals negative 3 times 3 plus b. Now I've got negative 4 equals negative 9 plus b. In order to get b by itself, I need to add 9 to both sides. I've got negative 4 plus 9 equals negative 9 plus 9 plus b. I end up with 5 equals b again. I use that b value and then my negative reciprocal from step 1 as my m value, and I put it in the equation. We get y equals negative 3x plus 5. Right? So a whole lot of what we've done in this video and the one before it as part 1 is just... Oh, there's another example. Oops. We'll do this one. What line goes through the point negative 8, 7 and is perpendicular to the equation y equals negative 4x minus 9? All right, what's your negative reciprocal for negative 4? Pause the video and catch up later. Step 1. Negative reciprocal of negative 4 is 1/4. Right? So negative 4 is negative 4/1. It becomes negative 1/4. And then we change the sign to make it positive. And now we just substitute in. We get 7 equals 1/4 times negative 8 plus b. 7 equals negative 2 plus b. In order to get b by itself, we need to add 2 to both sides. So we've got 7 plus 2 equals negative 2 plus 2 plus b. My b value becomes 9. I've got my m value from step 1 is 1/4. So my equation is going to be y equals 1/4 x plus 9. Here we come to the summary. The 2 new things from today. Right? Parallel lines have the exact same slope, always. And then perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slope. And you can see in these graphs, parallel lines, these are the ones that line up next to each other. They never cross. And then perpendicular lines cross perfectly at 90 degrees. You don't have to like and subscribe to this video.